Well, with 3 episodes left in the season, we knew that the time was nigh for WandaVision to drop at least one big surprise on us. And really, this week we got a few. Breaking the fourth wall in many respects serves as a bridge episode, covering Wanda's troubling psyche following the events of Halloween. But it also packs in some key developments, priming us for the season's eventual endgame. How many times am I allowed to use the word endgame while writing about an MCU show? Probably not more than 3. We'll see if I can stick to that. Here are WandaVision Episode 7 breakdown and ending explained, spoiler review, Marvel Easter eggs, and theories. WandaVision Episode 7. In terms of sitcom eras, Episode 7 leaps from the early 2000s single-cam world to the genre's next evolution, the mockumentary. Your first thought might be The Office, and indeed, the new opening credits feature no lyrics, but visuals that blend the vibes of NBC favorite with the style of the opening credits of ABC's dearly departed single-cam series, Happy Endings. WANDA'S breakdown. From the very beginning of WandaVision Episode 7, there's a certain uneasiness in the air. After last week's boundary-pushing affair, it's expected that Wanda isn't in any mood to play around, and she makes that abundantly clear in no time. Wanda elects to engage in a quarantine-style staycation, somehow continually ignoring that certain pieces of furniture in her home are shifting from era to era. Also, Wanda's telepathic son, Billy, Julian Hilliard, is having problems with his mind. He says it's really noisy in there, but she writes him off and leaves her boys with Agnes, Catherine Hahn, for the day, and doesn't seem to be bothered that her husband Vision is still missing. There's a lot to make of Wanda's subdued mental break in this episode, especially in relation to her unruly surroundings, now that the borders of her spell have expanded even further and been strengthened so no one can enter. She's pushed her reality warping abilities harder than ever before. One would imagine that this test of her mental limits is exhausting and is likely causing her world to shift and change outside of her control. Not only that, but Wanda seems highly uninterested in maintaining her perfect illusion, going as far as to admit her sons that their uncle Pietro, Evan Peters, wasn't actually related to them and pawning them off onto her neighbor just to get herself back in check. Spoilers for WandaVision Episode 7, Breaking the Fourth Wall. WandaVision clearly broke a lot of things alright. Episode 7 just shatters every speculation as it saw the rise of Monica Rambeau, Teyonah Parris as Spectrum, and the introduction of Agatha Harkness in the MCU. However, this wasn't all. The folks at Burbank quietly slipped a massive Easter egg and a potential connection to the upcoming Loki series starring Tom Hiddleston. The quick, just over a 20-second ad on NEXUS stirred up quite the chatter among fans on Twitter. NEXUS, according to fandom, is described as a cross-dimensional gateway which provides a pathway to any and all possible realities. This includes the realities between realities. It is unknown whether it was created by some being or just if it's the one place in the entire multiverse when all realities naturally intersect. Darcy is now under the Hex until Vision awakens her. When we first meet Darcy in WandaVision Episode 7, she's under the spell of the Hex and is part of the circus. However, Vision later finds her and awakens her from her Hex state. Wanda's powers are on the fritz. After expanding the borders of the Hex barrier in WandaVision Episode 6, Wanda's powers are on the fritz for some reason, as objects and the world around her keeps changing from versions of different eras. Maybe she's overexerting her powers and isn't capable of sustaining things inside the Hex anymore. Director Hayward's Project CATARACT is to weaponize Vision for S.W.O.R.D. Now we know what Project CATARACT is. It's part of S.W.O.R.D. Director Hayward's plans to revive and weaponize Vision. However, his plans were only partially achieved when Wanda revived Vision in her Hex bubble. Now it looks like Hayward's main objective is trying to retrieve Vision first and foremost. Nexus of All Realities Easter egg in the commercial. In the comics, the Nexus of All Realities is a cross-dimensional gateway which provides a pathway to any and all possible realities. This includes realities between realities. The Nexus commercial in WandaVision Episode 7 is clearly a reference to this, and this might very well be one of the keys to how the multiverse will be officially introduced in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In the comics, the Nexus of All Realities is also guarded by a being called the Man-Thing, whose power is to burn anything or anyone that feels fear. Meet Spectrum Photon, as Monica Rambeau finally gets her powers. In the comics, Monica Rambeau has the power to transform herself into any form of energy within the electromagnetic spectrum. We see part of that in action as Monica is momentarily able to see the various spectrums of electromagnetic energy around her. What's interesting is that even in the comics, she unlocked her powers after getting bombarded and exposed to extra-dimensional energies, which is exactly what happened to her in WandaVision Episode 7. Will we see the birth of a new Captain Marvel? She has also gone by the names Photon and Spectrum. Time will tell. Even her costume in WandaVision Episode 7 is somewhat comics accurate. The colors are, at least. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I am sure that you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.